Oh yeah, we up. Let's go. Let's go. It's up, it's up, it's up, it's up, it's up, it's up. So it's stuck. Let's go. What's up? Welcome to Keys of the King's Intuition. Y'all know who it is. It's your favorite. It's Marcus. Let's go. Dropping positive messages, sending love, light, peace, joy, happiness, abundance, wealth. Just sending that love out because we know it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, there's so much negativity going on in the world. Like, dang, somebody gotta do something positive. Somebody gotta, set the bar high, set the standard high. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Don't be influenced by people that's trying to down you, trying to get in your head, trying to project negative thoughts on you, trying to make you feel like, you're not worthy, you're not enough, trying to make you feel like you can't make mistakes and that they've never made any mistakes in their life. Let's go. Let's go. Capture, clear, and delete any negative, evil eyes, any slanderous tongues, return to sender, any black magic, dark magic, negative energy, chaos energy, danger, fear, all of that. We capture, clear, and delete it, and we surrender and we give it up to God. We're going to start it off like this because, we got to put God first, y'all. Because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to receive the messages. You wouldn't be able to have the breath in your lungs, the feet on your feet, the ground underneath your feet, and all the above, right? All of your blessings that you have. Just showing gratitude. So we're going to go ahead and do that then. Let's go. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you now in prayer, Lord. I pray that you give me clarity, you give me wisdom, you give me strength, you give me courage, Lord. You give me bravery, and you give me truth and nothing but the truth to speak, Lord, to set the minds and the spirits of whoever's receiving this message free, Lord. And we just want to thank you. We pray for the collective. We pray for everyone, Lord, because we all need you. And it might took us a while, but we ask you to show us who you are in a way that we can comprehend and that we can understand. For we're all your children, and we all different. You made us beautiful. You made us unique in our own way. So here we are. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Let's go. Let's go. Because now we just got to clap it up. Because you done made it through. You done made it here today. Okay. You made it here today. You're great. You're blessed. I see you. The world see you. Your heart matters. Your feelings matter. Your words matter. The things you go through matter. Your dreams matter. So let's go. We're going to pump you up to go ahead and get it and stay with it. Stay committed. Don't lose sight. Don't lose focus. Let's go. All right. What we talking about today? All right. We finna just get into it. I don't even care what we talk about, but we finna just talk about something great. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's see, y'all. What we getting into today? What are we getting into today? All right. Let's get into it. Let's talk about relationships. Oh, let's talk about relationships. My heart. My whole heart. You ever had so much love that you wanted to give and you wanted to show yourself? You wanted to show the person that you're interested in how much love you have and how, different the experiences could be with you versus, things they've experienced in the past. Because, I've had my fair share of relationships and a lot of them didn't work out. And, going through those hard times, or I guess I would say just having expectations that people will just get it, right? Like, I don't care if it's a relationship with a parent, a family member, a lover, a coworker, it doesn't matter, right? When people try to devalue you and they undervalue you and they put you down there, you know what I'm saying? You can't allow that to, you can't absorb that in and harvest that negative energy or those negative feelings and emotions, because that'll keep you down. That'll keep you feeling like you're unworthy. That'll keep you feeling like you're not enough. That'll have you feeling like you're not the prize, because that person chooses not to see the value in you. That person chooses to continue to hold on to things that harbor all of those negative emotions, and you end up paying for something that, you didn't do to that person, or they feel that you're doing that to them personally, when really, it's like we have to, you know, when you're in a connection, or you're expressing yourself to somebody on the things you've been through or whatever it may be, you know, when that person's intentions isn't pure, that person will use that against you. You know, I know me personally, because I can speak for me and I gotta speak for me first. I'm the type of person where, yeah, I've been through a lot of trauma. I've been through a lot of pain, betrayal, backstabs, and manipulation, and all that. You know, dealing with narcissists and this and that, and understanding the difference between who I am versus who they are, or who they are versus who I want them to be, right? Because it's like we see that potential in people. We see that potential, that part of them that needs to be watered and cleansed and purified out so that they can sprout and they can grow and they can be the best versions of them. Because, you know, you ever heard the saying like, oh, if I can't have you at your worst, I don't deserve you at your best. Well, a lot of people that I come in contact with, I come in contact with them when they're at one of the lowest parts of their life, but then that also allows me to be seen and recognized and notice myself as a blessing to that person, just like that person's a blessing to me. Because for one, misery loves company. And when people are miserable, you know, they need things that are going to cheer them up. They need things that are going to lift them up and give them life. So we speak life into one another versus, you know, I can't be the only one speaking life into you and encouraging you. And you're still stuck in a mental space because you haven't acknowledged, you didn't come to terms with it. You didn't accept that those things happened to you. You didn't accept, and you still hurt over that. So you don't release it. You don't let it go. You don't find a way to have another outlet. And that's what I love about me, because I have multiple outlets. For one, doing this feels amazing, right? Because I know that I'm not alone in doing this. Whether it's writing, right? Like, cause I'm working on my second book right now. Whether it's just being of service and being that light in the world, where like you might see somebody in a situation, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I was walking the other day and I seen a lady, she was drunk on the side of the road, and like she fell down on the sidewalk and people just staring at her and making fun of her. And I walked over there and I helped her up, and I went and got her some water, and then I asked her if I could pray for her, you know, because I could tell she was emotionally going through it. And then it's like she's trying to use the alcohol in order to cope with that pain, you know. And even myself, like, I started being a little bit more social and going out more, and like I've been drinking a little bit, but like when I'm drinking as far as like celebration wise, you know what I'm saying? And then I know my limits. Like, you have to have boundaries, you have to have limits. Like, you don't want to get to a point to where like you're overindulging and now, you know, you don't have no control of self, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even when I feel I'm starting to get tipsy, it's time for me to go. Right? When I feel like, oh, it's time for me, like it's starting to hit me too hard, I gotta get up out of here. It's time to go. I need to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to make any decisions that will jeopardize, you know, my circumstances or my future. So it's like making that best choice for me, understanding my limits, understanding my boundaries, or understanding if I need to slow down or not. You know what I'm saying? So especially being somebody that's not a big drinker. Like, I'm definitely not a big drinker. I've seen a lot of people, I've been around a lot of people that overly drink, and they overly get too strong and bold and brave, and they get that liquid courage. We know what that is. We done heard about it. We done all of that, you know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, I want to touch on, you know, those things as far as like trying to do things that try to basically numb that pain versus address that pain and release it. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting it out of you in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you're somebody who's angry, like, I can give some good examples on some suggestions. If you're somebody who's angry and you got a lot of anger built up, you need to do things that are going to physically push you. So like push-ups, jumping jacks, like wear yourself out, get that energy off of you, so then it's being transformed and it's being used for good, right? So you transmuting it, it's like turning this pain into power. And then, you know, you keep doing that, you're going to start seeing progression, and you're going to start loving what you see. You're going to start loving what you become. You're going to start loving how you handle things, how you handle situations. You know, I feel like a lot of people are, you know, like I know this for a fact, it's hard to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, when, you know how you got that one person, like, you can't talk to that person. There's no getting through to that person. You know what I'm saying? Because they're stuck on their ways. They're stuck on harvesting that resentment. And it's like, you have to learn when to walk away. You have to learn when to step away and when to release things, you know, because it's honestly not in your control. All you can control is what you control, and how you speak, and your actions, and the choices you make. And you know, it's nothing wrong with having hope or having faith that, you know, that person eventually will come around. But then it's like, you need those positive examples. So it's like, I'm proud of myself, y'all. Like, I've been through a lot, you know, and when I overexpress myself to people, you know, they would, you know, express themselves to me as well. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, what are they using that for fuel to fire them up to do better, to be like, you know what, I have to be strong, because just because I did wrong doesn't mean that, you know, I'm gonna let it change my heart, and I'm gonna let it change the love I have for self. Because dealing with other people that don't love themselves, with them staying in a failure or a lack mindset, will allow you to stay there, and that'll rub off on you. And we know one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch, right? And it's like, if you have to separate yourself or distance yourself, or, you know, it could feel like you're abandoning people, but honestly, like, you're cutting off the toxic energy and the negative energy that doesn't serve your highest good, so that you can realign, and so you can regain your energy, and so that you don't lose sight of self. And a lot of people lose sight of self because they put their all into someone else, right? You know, I'm at a point where, like, I don't want to be with or get in another partnership or a relationship with somebody that, you know, I know that I can put a lot into, but it's not reciprocated, because I don't deserve that. I don't deserve for it not to be equally balanced. You know what I'm saying? I can't just every single day pour into you, pour into you, pour into you, pour into you, and then I lift you up all the way up here. You know, like, I got you feeling good, but like, you're failing to realize, like, I'm down here now, and you not pouring back into me to help rise me up with you. So it's like, when that's the case, you know what I'm saying, you might have to release that and let that go, because it might just not be for you. Because what's understood, like, you know what I'm saying, what people understand, it don't have to be explained. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell how a person carries himself, how they move, how they interact, you know. And I feel like a lot of people come from such a hurt place. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. Strip them of their titles and see them for the energy that they hold, right? How are they with people? So it's like, I know that, you know, I had a big problem with trauma, with past relationships, with like trust issues. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to trust. Like, people are going to show you, you know what I'm saying? People could tell you anything, and are you going to just keep believing what they're telling you, or are you going to pay attention and watch what they're showing you? You know, and that's my main thing, because like, it's so many people that I love and have love for and have respect for, that, you know, claim they had love for me, but didn't respect me. And then there's a lot of people that do respect me. There's a lot of people that do love me, you know, but just because I love them and I respect them doesn't mean I have to necessarily stay around them. You know, I live in the present moment. So it's like, I enjoy and I embrace the time I get to spend with those individuals, right? Because that can keep you stuck and stagnant. Like, I have a lot to do. They're like, people get bored and they don't know what to do, or they just get stuck doing the exact same thing. And it's like, I'm the type where, like, I like to adventure. I like to do new things. I like to switch it up. I like to learn new things. I don't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's growth. That's personal growth. That's spiritual growth. And then, like, I used to be so fascinated by things that I put so much time and hours into researching and studying things, to where it's like, wow, like, it all makes sense and it's all connected. So, you know, people either gonna love you or hate you, but regardless, people gonna talk about you, right? You doing good, they're gonna talk about you. You doing bad, they're gonna talk about you. You know, and I can't control, you know, your personal feelings about me, because those are your feelings, they're not mine, right? So just like with me, anybody that did me wrong, they can't control my personal feelings about how I feel about them. You know what I'm saying? I just look at the circumstances and how it affected me and how I feel. But, you know, they have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? That they have to get that. That's on them to get. If they don't get it, then they don't get it. I'm not going to stay in the same spot mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, if it's not serving my highest good, right? It keeps me stuck. It keeps me stagnant. It don't give me growth. And I have to understand that's a lesson to learn, right? And it's like, you have to understand that those lessons that you go through become those blessings, because it'd be a blessing when you're able to heal from it, you acknowledge that this happens. You acknowledge that these circumstances and these scenarios can take place. But, you know, what did you learn out of it, right? Were you overextending? Did you not do enough? Could you have done better, right? And then knowing that those are things you work on, and having your boundaries set on what you accept and what you won't accept, right? It don't matter how good a person looks. It doesn't matter how much money that person has. It doesn't matter the material stuff. Because like with me, like, you know, I used to ask God, like, oh, I want a bad B. I want a bad B. And now it's like, God, I don't want a bad B. I want somebody beautiful inside and out. Somebody that loves you just like I love you. You know what I'm saying? Who will already have a good connection with you and a good honor and respect for life, and understand that, you know, you have purpose. You have to create what your purpose is, and you have to fulfill your destiny. And a lot of people fulfilled their destiny with me in their life because they showed me who they were. They showed me what exists, you know. And it's like, because I'm a child of God, but does that mean that the devil isn't real? Like, absolutely, the devil is real. Negative energy, low vibrational energy is real, you know. And so I'm aware. It just made me more aware. So like, I pay attention to my surroundings. I pay attention to how people look at me. I pay attention to how people move. You know what I'm saying? So me understanding that allows me to navigate better and differently and boldly and bravely, because I know that, you know, my comprehension level and my IQ and my understanding, you know, just because people were doing what they were doing, I still took time out to continue to learn, continue to study, to continue to do my own research. But based off my own experiences, I can't take your experiences away from you, nor can you take mine away from me. So, you know, you want to talk and you want to speak, you want to say what you got to say, but you have to have that same respect to allow me to say what I need to say, so that you can have an understanding on where I'm coming from, just like you wanted me to give that to you, so I can understand where you're coming from. But, you know, I'm not the type to where, like, I don't want to show interest in you and back up. I'm not going to spend time with you and back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, if it's good, let the good be good and enjoy it and be present. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type where, you know, I'm not the type where I feel like, you know, you're necessarily doing me wrong. It's just things that I know that trigger me that I can't handle. So then that's why I have to back up. That's why I have to release, because, you know, you're only going to accept what you feel you deserve, right? And that's one thing that I learned too. And then I look at it like, not just the aspect of me, but I look at it as older people watching what they go through. I look at it as the younger kids coming up, because they need positive influence. They need upliftment. They need hope. They need guidance. They need, you know, the things that you went through, you know, change your perspective on it so that you can be a better person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're loved, you just, even when you don't feel like it. You're appreciated and valued even when you don't feel like it. But it's like, you can't lose that of self, right? Because when you lose that of self, you start treating everybody else like that. You know what I'm saying? When you get betrayed, you feel like everybody's betraying you. When you get backstabbed, you feel like everybody's doing that. You feel like when you get wrong, everybody's doing that to you. And that's not the case. Let's go. I'm warming up. So as far as relationships go, one of the best relationships you can have is a relationship with self and God, because, you know, we tend to want to turn to everybody else about what we personally are going through, and we don't know what to do. And then, you know, it's not that we necessarily want people to feel sorry for us, but we already feel sorry for ourselves and decisions that we allowed to happen and take place, and we didn't choose or did do better. So it's like, you know, taking that accountability. Once you take that accountability, you're aware, and, you know, somebody try to throw that in your face, like, it'll no longer phase you. It won't do nothing to you anymore, because you've already grown and you've healed from that. You acknowledge it. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. And you know, you become a better person because you're doing better. You're not only saying you're doing better, but you're able to show that. So I'm the type where I can show and tell. A lot of the things that I've ever got up on here on my channel and spoke about were things that I can show. That's why I'm telling them, right? Because we need that. The future is in our hands. The future of your life is in your hands. So do you want to be an evil, hateful, spiteful person causing chaos, drama, holding hate in your heart because, oh, your mom and dad wasn't there, you was beaten, you was abused, you was molested, you went through this, you went through that. Do you want to hold on to that, or do you want to hold on to the hope for a brighter future by making those adjustments to where you're healing yourself, to where when you go out into the world, right, you're healed and you're doing things you used to didn't normally do. You compliment people, you saying hi to people, you're acknowledging them, because don't you want to be acknowledged, right? Like, we all want that acknowledgement and that reward, because your acknowledgement and recognition is your reward. But then you got to think on a bigger level. That's the same thing with God. Like, you talking about the creator of all things. I'm talking about all things. I'm not talking about one thing. I'm not talking about just the material thing. All things. God is the creator of all things, yet we don't give him that acknowledgement that we need to, right? And it's like, the closer you get to him, the more he will bless you, the more he will open doors that no man can shut or woman can shut, right? He can heal those areas that you didn't think could be healed, right? Because it's like, you don't know where you're going to be at in 3.5 years from now. You don't know where you're going to be at in 1 year from now. You don't know, unless you choose to continue to do the same things. Then yeah, you can kind of project what you're going to be. But even in between that time, something can happen to where that all changes, right? So they said, like, tomorrow isn't promised, but we have hope and we have faith for tomorrow. So yet we plan for it and we put in that work today, so that the universe knows and God knows that, we are needed. Like, wow, God probably looking at us like, wow, look at how my children are changing, right? Look at how a lot of the weak and wicked things that were taking place, even in Hollywood with the celebrities and the politicians and all the corrupt government officials and stuff like that. So that's the thing, right? Like, you could say, like, F the Pope, F12, whatever. It's not all bad people in 12. It's not all bad people in the justice system. It's not all bad people in the workplace. It's not all bad people in the restaurants. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you can see this though, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see this behind people's behavior, right? And how they speak, how they act, how they interact, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we all know, like, people be pretending. Like, you can tell when somebody's pretending. So it's like, I know a prime example is like watching people go to an interview or get ready to go to an interview. Like, they change their whole tone and how they present themselves, and they do it totally different. And like, that's the thing with me. Like, I'm me everywhere I go, and I'm so thankful to God that he made me that way. And a lot of people don't like that because they're too afraid to be who they really are. But it's like, if you would change and make better decisions and choices, you would love who you are. Confirmation, pardon me, excuse me, y'all. And it's huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand, you got good and bad in you. I have light and dark in me. You know what I'm saying? I have my good side and I have my bad side. So it's like, I got the days where I'm super up and I'm ready and I'm energized and I'm focused and I'm extra loving and extra caring. And then I got the days where, I feel sad, I feel down, I get angry sometimes. I get upset, you know what I'm saying? I feel low, but it's like going with the flow of things, because it has to be balanced, right? So it's like learning how to use your higher mind, your higher consciousness to equal it out, right? Not fall victim to your lower self. Like, you ever heard somebody, like, I know I heard some songs recently and they're like, oh, you trying to turn me back to the old me. Like, y'all don't want to see the old me, right? But that's the thing, right? Like, the old you is the old you. The new you is the new you. But I feel like at the same time, it's all kind of like titles to entrap that certain energy that you were in at that time, right? Because everybody changes, change is inevitable, it all evolves. Like, I used to be a little kid, and then I grew up to a young man, and now I'm a man, right? Learning through those things, and as bad as I wanted people to accept me and love me because they were my family or my friends or, my lovers, whatever, I still had to always love self, right? And that's why I can understand why we all feel like it's happening to us, but it be happening for us so that we can grow spiritually, mentally, and physically, right? So we can evolve, because you have to go through those cycles of life to know that they exist, to know that they're real, to know that you are alive, you know what I'm saying? And understanding that you hold the power. So it's like, I have the power to uplift you. I could say, man, I love y'all so much. You're so amazing. I'm so grateful to have you here today. Or I could say, all y'all, I don't give, look, I'm done. I'm up, I'm out. I don't care. Don't talk to me. You see what I'm saying? That's just an example, bro, because I'm a teacher of all ages. I can talk to little kids. I can talk to older people. You know, so I can talk to people my age, right? Because it's like, we've experienced that all. I used to be a young kid, right? I used to be a young man, right? I used to want to fit in, right? I used to be outcasted. But then I'm like, dang, I feel like, you know, maybe these just ain't my people. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's a reason why I'm going through this, because it's things I need to learn, right? You know, but that's a whole nother thing, because they be like, oh, everybody's the same. Like, no, each and every one of you are different, right? What you eat, I might not like to eat, right? What's good for you and what works for you might not work for me. And that's okay. And that's why I'm on here and I show up as who I am, because I can only speak for me. But the messages that I'm giving is going to come across to somebody that's really going to resonate with it in a way where nobody else talked to them like that. Nobody else kept it a buck with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, real, like I didn't have insecurities. Like, I wasn't not happy of my body weight or my body size, or like me having a gap in my teeth never made me insecure to where I didn't want to smile or didn't want to speak, because I felt I was too hard on myself, right? I was judging myself off the physical appearance versus just keeping it here, right? Just keeping it here. And, you know, I was a real, and still will always be a real example of unconditional love. I mean, just because a lot of those things happened to me and took place with me, don't mean I don't love, but sometimes you got to learn how to love people from a distance, because you can see the scenario. Sometimes people be in their own stuff and they don't even see what they're in, right? But you're from an outside perspective, you can see what they're going through. And yeah, you try to be a good friend. You try to be a good, partner, brother, sister, whatever your role is in your position or your title is to somebody, right? And we just try to be the best we can be, and we be hoping that somebody, you know, recognizes that, somebody acknowledges that and appreciates that, you know. And they could tell you they appreciate you, but they're gonna show you, right? They're gonna show you they do. They're gonna show you they're there. They're gonna show you they care. They're gonna really show you, you know, if they're sorry, right? Or if the apology is sincere, or if it's real, right? But it's like, that's why it's so important for you to forgive, because if you don't forgive, it's going to hinder you from moving forward, right? And the forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you, it's for self, so you can heal from it. You acknowledge that it happened. Just because I forgive you don't mean I gotta be around you, don't mean I gotta kick it with you, don't mean I gotta indulge or be in the things you're into, right? It's like, because some things are unforgivable, right? People cross too many boundaries and too many lines with you, you know what I'm saying, where we try to fit into society, into a group, either you're high class, middle class, or low class, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we be separating ourselves. So it's like, I don't look at myself any better than a homeless person. I don't look at myself any better than a rich person, you know what I'm saying? When I might not be there, my goal is to help everybody elevate, because I come from the bottom. I've gotten treated, you know, like I was always at the bottom. And it's like, why would you treat somebody that way when, you know, the whole goal and the whole plan is for us to all evolve and get to higher heights? Like, we have to plan for our future, you know what I'm saying? And like, to the older heads, like, look what y'all created for people in my generation to have to live through and clean up, right? But then it's like, y'all want y'all to respect because y'all elders and y'all older, but that don't mean y'all did everything right. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all gotta allow us to mess up and make mistakes, and then to grow and heal from that, just like you had to grow and heal from that, you know. And like, you can really see in a lot of people, you know, if you really open your eyes, like, you know discernment, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what I'm saying? And it comes a point in time where like, you can no longer make excuses for people, you know, when they're grown. And but at the same time, knowing where you can step in at and assist that person in their healing journey, or having that person that can sit you down and let you know, like, look, you need to get your stuff together, period. You hurting too many people, you hurting yourself. I don't want to see you like this, and if you're gonna continue to stay like this, I can't be around you. I gotta let you go. Um, and that person, you know, they'll keep playing the victim mentality. And I know because I've been a victim, but I'm no longer a victim. I'm a victor, right? Because I switched my perspective on things. Like, I'm no longer that hurt person that was, beaten and abused. Because then it just let me understand the difference between like abuse and discipline, right? Because I have children of my own. I know the difference, right? I've raised other people's children. I know the difference, right? But my intentions was always pure because I always looked at it like, what if this was me, right? What if this was me? I would want somebody to love me. I got 16 years of customer service experience, right? And since I have 16 years of customer service experience, people don't tell me like, oh, you have the best service we've ever had in our life in the last 20 years and all this and that, but it's like, I always looked at it like, what if you were my grandmother or my mom and my dad or my brother and sister? Like, I know you guys don't just come for the food, you come for the experience, right? That's why you didn't stay at home, because you wanted to come out and experience something different. And that set me aside, but it's like I always had people get in the way of my elevation, or at least attempt to. And when it did, it just redirected me. So like my rejection was my protection, because, I worked my way up, but it was like they would never let me like get to the highest level, you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, when they did that, it just made me want to create my own company. So then it's like, then I created a one-of-a-kind company, because I created and structured it in a way to where everybody everybody wants me to